Number 6, Jayson Tatum. 27, 8, and 4 in the regular season on 58% true shooting. 26, 7, and 6 on 56% true shooting in the postseason. A lot of that was taken away by a bad finals performance. He averaged 22, 7, and 7 on 37% from the field, 46% from three, and 66% from the free throw line in the finals. That bad series against Golden State kind of took away and kind of took the shine off the apple from what was an incredibly dominant regular season and postseason run. And that's why I have him as high as I do. He's kind of like the reverse DeMar DeRozan or Brandon Ingram. I talked a lot about those guys being like 3-level scorers that are primarily rim and mid-range oriented that struggle as they get out to like 23, 24 feet, especially above the break. Tatum is like the opposite of that. He only shot 60% in the restricted area in this postseason run. That's bad for a player of his size and athleticism and strength. Like I always say, for big wings, I want that number at least 70%. In the paint non-restricted area, only 32%. That's bad. Mid-range, 37%. That's not great. But he was 41% on 7 above the break threes per game. That's outrageous efficiency. 46% overall from 3 in that postseason run. So that's a great example for how shot value can overcome shot conversion rate. Because those numbers that I threw out, 60% in the restricted area, 32% in the paint non-restricted area, 37% from the mid-range, that should not amount to a 56% true shooting percentage. The reason why it does is because three-pointers are worth 50% more than any other shot on the floor. And if you make those ones, it will offset a lot of your inefficiencies elsewhere on the floor. But that's a great area of opportunity for Jayson Tatum, because what I would tell Jayson Tatum is to be like, hey man, you shot 46% from 3 in the postseason. You shot 41% above the break. You're probably not going to get much better there. You have just about maxed out that ability. If you can polish up these other areas of the game, you can be the type of offensive engine that a LeBron James or Kevin Durant is. That's the next step for him in terms of his 3-level scoring. He had 8+ assists 7 times in this postseason run, and in those games, the Celtics went 7-0. Tatum's an interesting player in the sense that if you catch him on the right night, he looks like a legitimately great playmaker. But if you catch him on the wrong night, he looks like a tunnel vision player that doesn't understand how to run a team. Some of that's youth. Some of that is this is still really only like his 2.5 seasons of him being a primary ball handler, so he just needs a lot more reps. But make no mistake, he's got that high-end playmaking potential. 8+ assists 7 times in a postseason is a very, very good marker, and a 7-0 record is a demonstration of the way that impacts the team. That's why I was pleading all postseason long, pass the ball, Tatum. Pass the ball, Jayson. That's how you're winning games, I tweeted this out earlier today, and people were actually pretty receptive to it, which I was surprised. In all of my evaluations over the course of this last season, postseason, and this summer, I'm not sure that I saw a perimeter defensive player better than Jayson Tatum. If you watch the tape of the first round against Brooklyn, yes, there was a team defense that was backing him up, an outstanding team defense. But the job that Jayson Tatum did on Kevin Durant was extraordinary. He was kind of this unique capability of applying pressure, like getting up and being disruptive with Durant, while at the same time having the lateral quickness to contain his dribble drives. I always talk about the difference between positional and aggressive defense. He can do both, which is what makes him so damn impactful on that end of the floor. Again, he's not the best defensive player in the league. I think that's Giannis. The best defensive player in the league has to be able to succeed as a backline defender, as a screen and roll defender, and as a perimeter defender. He has to be able to guard guards, wings, and bigs. Giannis is the only player in the world really that can do that really, really well. There are a handful of players that also can. Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, right? He's not the only one, but I think Giannis is the best. But strictly when it comes to I need someone to guard a superstar wing or guard for a playoff series, I think Tatum is the best guy you could have for that role. It's a testament to the muscle that he's put on to become more stout and difficult to bully to spots on the floor. It's a testament to the length of his arms. It's a testament to his athleticism. It's a testament to his basketball IQ and his ability to anticipate the moves that people are making. And lastly, it's a testament to his effort and focus and him devoting resources to being a dominant defensive player. The biggest weakness for Tatum right now, and it's the reason why he lost in the NBA Finals, is offensive process. Like I said, he had 8+ assists 7 times and went 7-0 in this playoff run. He also had 4 or fewer assists 7 times in this postseason run and went 1-6 in those games. He had 6+ turnovers 7 times. Celtics went 3-4 in those games. So his focus, and this isn't entirely his fault. He grew up a classic wing scorer, and he's been grooming himself to become a traditional point forward a la LeBron James, a player that starts from the top of the key, runs 40, 50 actions a game, and is responsible for creating shots for his teammates. That's a different role than more of like an unlocked perimeter scorer that is more like the tip of a spear. He's going from being the tip of the spear to being the actual total spear. It's a totally different role. So that's why he's undergoing kind of like an identity crisis on any given night. Catch him on the right night, he's bought into that role, he's passing the ball, the team looks great. But if you catch him on the wrong night, it's more like the old Jayson Tatum. It's really bad shot selection. It's all of those things, and the team struggles. I think he'll get better with that as time goes on in his career. His rim finishing is another huge weakness. Like I've always said, for big, strong rim pressuring wings, I want at least 70% in the restricted area. He was down to 60% in this playoff run. Huge part of the problem there is him seeking fouls. He does that James Harden thing where he constantly extends his elbows out and tries to go up through people to draw fouls. That's great when it works and you draw a foul, but what ends up mostly happening, especially as you get deeper into the playoffs, is they let that stuff go. And now what you did is you extended the ball out and made it a lot easier for guys to knock the ball out of your hands. And so that leads to him missing layups, falling into camera row, and complaining at the refs while the team is running down the other way to get a layup. And so that's where I've talked about this before, but he needs to adopt that LeBron James approach. Tuck the basketball like a football player. As you pick up your dribble, rip through the traffic, and then extend with both hands and finish at the rim. That'll be the difference between him finishing 60% in the restricted area and getting back up into the 70s where he belongs. And then, like I said earlier, 32% paint non-restricted area, 37% for mid-range. That's not good enough either. You want to be as versatile and you want to be like Kawhi Leonard. You want to be like Paul George. You want to be like these guys where they don't really have a weak spot on the floor. You want to be comfortable everywhere on the floor. The only way to do that is to polish up those short-range jump shots in the paint and getting more proficient with his mid-range jump shooting. The last thing I wanted to say about Jayson Tatum is it's easy to get really down about what happened in that NBA Finals. It's easy to look at that as a huge negative, like, oh, he's not that guy, or he's not ready, or whatever it is that you want to say. I view great value in the failure, in playing poorly, particularly on a big stage. I've talked about this with LeBron a lot over the years, but I think the best thing that happened to LeBron James in his career was losing the 2011 Finals. I think he was accustomed to a certain level of work, and then he got humiliated. And then the dominance that followed that was directly a result of the lesson that he learned in 2011. The LeBron post-2011 doesn't even resemble the LeBron pre-2011 in demeanor, in professionalism, in work ethic, and it showed in the a diversity of his offensive attack. That's what caused him to put in the work to become a reliable jump shooter. That's what unlocked his low post game, which has become a huge part of his career as he's gotten older. That 2011 is viewed as a black mark by most people. I don't really think that's the right way to look at it. If he had a black mark like that and it became like James Harden, where it was like that year in and year out, that's a different story. But he responded to that black mark by putting on a stretch of remarkably dominant NBA basketball. 4 championships in 8 years or whatever it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the point is that failure could be the catalyst to the next phase of his career, right? That's the way I look at it with Jayson Tatum. He got this close to an NBA championship. In fact, he should have won. As I said after Game 3 of the Finals, the Celtics were the more talented team. Not the better team, but they were the more talented team. The reason why they lost was in large part due to Tatum's struggles. So there was a Larry O'Brien trophy right there for the taking. He was this close, and his weaknesses led to him losing that trophy. It slipped out of his fingers. I expect him to view that as a catalyst moment in his career. And I think moving forward, he will understand the fact that him being the point forward versus the scoring forward was the reason why he had so much success in that run. I believe he will replicate that, and I think Jayson Tatum is going to have a really dominant stretch of basketball over the course of the next few years. All right, so we are going to be doing the top 5 over the course of the next week or so. Again, I'm going to do one player at a time there. I'm also going to be doing some not revisionist history, but kind of reviewing their history, talking about their major moments in their career, their major achievements, their development over the course of their career, intricate details of their skill set. I want to take my sweet time getting into those players. I'll be reading the comment section later tonight. I want you guys to drop any suggestions for things that you guys would like to see in those videos so that I can cater them to you guys a little bit better. As always, I sincerely appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days.